Hi, my name is Maddie Hardwick. The audience of our report is the Vice President and Chief of Information at Kennesaw State University. The problem our report is addressing is the termination of access to Adobe Creative Cloud on personal devices for Kennesaw State University students. As of July 1st, 2023, students can only access Adobe Creative Cloud on on-campus devices. This is due to the COVID relief grant ending, which used to give students personal access. Our report includes cost comparisons between per-name licenses and device-based licenses. We explain the benefits of personal access to Adobe Creative Cloud, as some students are not able to go to campus when needing to use this software. Our report concludes with the proposal to add the fee of the personal access to Adobe Creative Cloud into student tuition for every student at Kennesaw State University. This would benefit online students, students that work, and overall have a positive impact on the student experience and education at Kennesaw State University.
Throughout this project, we were tasked with doing some research to find some more insights on students and the ways that they use Adobe CC, and we ran a student survey to find out more information about this. And from our results, we can see that a lot of students would like to have personal access because it's comfortable, it's convenient, and of course the programs are good. A lot of students would benefit from using these programs. And overwhelmingly, the biggest reason that people don't want to be purchasing personal licenses is it's very expensive. Not a lot of people have problems with the storage, and of course there will be some students who just don't use the programs, but overwhelmingly the biggest negative to students is the cost.
The criteria used in the following proposed solutions consists of the estimated net cost to both the university and the students, what would need to be done to accomplish this goal, and the user-to-cost ratio, or how many students would benefit from this change for each dollar spent.
So, given all of the information that we've learned, all of the student data that we've gathered, all of the different information that we researched, and all of the criteria that we put forth, these are the proposed solutions our team came up with. Option 1 will have KSU signing an agreement with Adobe to purchase student CC licenses in bulk. This agreement, from the research that we did, could lower the cost of a license from $240 per year to $25 to $40 per year, depending on the terms. And the net cost of this would be $960,000 to $1.92 million a year. And this could vary a little bit, again, depending on the exact cost determined from the agreements. Unfortunately, our research was inconclusive on the cost. All that this would require from KSU would be signing an agreement with Adobe. The terms of the agreement are unknown, but since other universities have this same agreement, it's likely something that is manageable for KSU. And the user-to-cost ratio for this option is moderately low. And this will be because KSU is going to be buying licenses for every student every semester with this, and likely there will be a lot of students that don't use the programs or don't know that they have access to them. So this return on interest is going to be lower than the other two options. Now, option 2 is opt-in licenses, and this would give students the option to manually opt in for a license each semester, as well as covering half the cost of the licenses. So, given the current cost of $240 per year, students that would opt in would pay $120 and KSU would pay the other $120. This gives us a little middle ground and it makes KSU's budget less tight. So the net cost here would be $500,000 to $5.5 million, and that big number is if every single student decided to opt in every single semester. That's likely not to happen, so realistically we're looking at maybe $500,000 to $1 million per year. And all that this would require from KSU would be to cover half the cost of a license and also to sort of set up this opt-in system, sending out reminders each semester so that students don't overstay when they don't actually need the programs. And the user-to-cost ratio here is moderately high. Since students have to choose to opt in, they're likely going to use the programs if they opt in. Moving along, we have option 3, which is course-based access. Now, the way that this would work is that students enrolled in courses that absolutely require CC programs would gain personal access. And this could either be done through KSU covering the cost just for those students, or KSU could add it as a textbook fee to those students' tuition for that semester. Now the net cost of this would be $480,000 to $960,000, and that is obviously if KSU were to cover it. And again, this is just an estimation on how many courses and students are going to be enrolled in them each semester. And the way that this plan would work would KSU would need to research programs that require CC and then add it on as a textbook cost, or consider covering the cost for those students. Now this user to cost ratio is going to be the highest out of the three options, simply because the students that are in these classes are going to have to use these programs to do good in the class. Now obviously some students might enroll and decide that they don't want to, and that's stopping this from being a 100% user to cost ratio, but this would still be the highest one. Now the final option is a hybrid option. Though we gave specifics on each of the other three options, the university could choose to combine any three of them if it suits them better. Since we don't have the university's exact numbers, this is definitely an option. You could decide to sign a bulk license agreement and then also give course-based access. That way the students that are in these courses are only having to pay $25 to $40, or KSU pays that $25 to $40. And that'd significantly lower the cost even more, but since we do not have access to a lot of these details, we didn't want to give a direct hybrid option.
Of the three proposed solutions, we feel that option 3 would work best. A course-based access approach is the most direct option to put the program into the hands of the students who require its use the most. This will also prevent unnecessary fees being added to students who would not greatly benefit from this program, thus reducing any backlash for increased costs to tuition. We also feel that this option would be the quickest to implement, avoiding any long wait time between the start of the change to its actual implementation. In conclusion, we hope that we are able to spark an interest into the allowance of Adobe CC to be used once again on students' personal devices. Naturally, we understand that this change will come with some financial concerns, but we feel that it is a small investment into a better educational experience. This will grant all students, especially online-only students, the ability to place another tool into their hands, which will allow a greater opportunity to not only succeed, but excel in their studies. Adobe CC contains an essential set of programs that isn't limited to just design-based classes. And it will also be changes like these that we have proposed here that shows the KSU commitment to its student success. On behalf of our team, Madi, Richard, and Denny, thank you for your time.